South Africa doesn't just have a corruption problem, it has a corruption economy. One where looting isn't the exception, it's the rule. A system where tenders feed billionaires while hospitals go dark, bridges collapse, and kids drink from sewer-contaminated rivers. This isn't a few bad apples. This is the entire orchard, designed, incentivized, and normalized. To understand corruption in South Africa, you have to think like a businessman, not a criminal. Because in many places, corruption isn't underground. It's part of the operating procedure. Political connections are the new currency. Compliance is optional. Oversight is a joke. The Auditor General's 2023 report found that only 38 out of 257 municipalities received clean audits. That means 219 failed to account for their budgets. Yet, billions were spent. Where did the money go? In Mpumalanga, 4.5 million rand was paid to build a pit latrine, one toilet, no sewage, no water. In the Eastern Cape, 15 million rands was spent to erect a 1.5 kilometer gravel road. The road never appeared.
As the provincial government, we are going to monitor our municipalities closely, but also on the issue of consequent management, we are going to take serious actions where our administrators and officials are not performing. We are going to act because, it's unacceptable.
The audit report showed that poor performance was the most prevalent in the Free State, Northern Cape and Northwest. One of the challenges faced by municipalities is the high vacancy rate of critical positions.
The regress in terms of what is happening in all these municipalities in the Northern Cape, it is because of there's no adequate staff appointment that are learned into that different field, especially in finance. We have municipalities without municipal managers. Everyone is just acting, so that is the problem we are facing, and it needs a serious attention from the provincial government.
There is no political will for consequence management, because money that has left the system that should be for the benefit of members in the community must come back so that they can beneficiate members of the community. But that will only happen if you have a government that is truly interested in the well-being of the members that they are serving.
In the early 2000s, a new word entered the South African dictionary: Tenderpreneur. It describes a politically connected individual who wins government tenders, often without experience or capacity, and subcontracts the work for a fraction, pocketing the rest. This business model exploded under the Zuma administration. Cadre deployment met unchecked procurement power, and a new elite class emerged. Government created millionaires. Today, there are contractors who never lifted a spade but drive Ferraris, while towns don't have flushing toilets. What's worse than corruption? Corruption with no outputs. In Free State, 250 million rand was allocated to a dairy farm meant to uplift black farmers. The Estina project. Instead, money was laundered through shell companies, some linked to the Gupta family, with only a few cows delivered. In Kiani, Limpopo, 3.5 billion rand was spent on a water project that still hasn't brought water to a single tap. Community members continue to walk kilometers with buckets. The Tembisa Hospital scandal revealed how nearly 1 billion rand was spent on medical gloves, oxygen and water tanks from shell companies, none of which supplied anything. Tender fraud needs two hands, a politician and a business person. ANC cadres deployed in municipalities approve tenders, often at inflated prices, and receive kickbacks in the form of cash, luxury holidays, or shares in supplier companies. In 2023, the Special Investigating Unit revealed 13 billion rand in irregular contracts across provincial governments. Most had no performance clauses, no oversight, no consequences. Meanwhile, a ruling party that promised to serve the people became one that serves tenders. In 2021, Babita Duakaran, a senior health official in Gauteng, was shot dead outside her home. Her crime? Flagging irregular payments at Tembisa Hospital. She warned her superiors, reported to Treasury, and pushed back, alone. She was silenced, and she is not the only one. More than a dozen whistleblowers in the public sector have been harassed, forced out of work, or killed over the past decade. This is the price of fighting a system designed to protect the looters. Corruption isn't just theft, it's violence. When a tender for boreholes is stolen, someone dies of thirst. When a tender for hospital beds is stolen, someone dies waiting in a corridor. When money for school repairs is stolen, a child falls into a pit latrine. These aren't just stories. They are everyday South African realities. And the sad truth is, many of us are so used to it, we don't even flinch anymore.
Bongani Centre for Investigative Journalism this morning, suggesting that some people who are close to the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, will benefit from the new lottery deal. The Trade, Industry and Competition Minister, Park Stow, has selected Sizakaya Holdings to run the lottery for 8 years. One of its shareholders is a company that is partly owned by the twin sister of Mashatile's wife. Azara Karim wrote that story.
There is no easy fix, but there are cracks in the wall. Outer, Corruption Watch, and Amapungani continue to investigate. Courts are slowly responding. The Zondo Commission laid out a blueprint for reform, but the political will is lacking. Some communities are fighting back, rejecting tenders, demanding accountability, naming and shaming corrupt officials. But until law enforcement, voters, and leadership change the culture, the trap remains. In South Africa, corruption is no longer the exception. It's the business model. This isn't accidental. It was built into the DNA of the post-apartheid state, hidden beneath slogans masked by liberation nostalgia. We've normalized theft. We've rewarded looters. We've made it dangerous to be honest. The question is, for how much longer? This has been South Africa Unveiled. The tender trap, because before we rebuild, we must first expose the rot.